everyone, Whitebox here with another game of Spirit Island. So I'm continuing my series here of rediscovering Volcano Looming High to see if I can revise my opinion and maybe see if it's a little bit better than the C tier that I gave it in my tier list, since that seems to be an unpopular opinion. Today I'm going to be going against the Kingdom of Sweden, level 6, and see how I do with that. Volcano, one of the few spirits left that I don't have a level 6 win with, which is interesting. I'm not sure how that slipped through the cracks. So I'm going to try to get the first level 6 win against Sweden here. One of the easier level 6 adversaries, but it can be tricky, mostly depending on the RNG with these first couple draws. I've got everything set up already. I had my royal backing in jungle, so I had to add a town into land F5. I've got my mining outpost or prospecting outpost out here in F8. Board F seems like it's going to be a little bit tricky for Volcano. This was a random draw. I decided to start in F4 just because that's the one with the blight. And actually, I forgot to add Sweden's extra town, or extra city, excuse me. So there will be an extra city here. The blight will get pushed to C5. And I get a city here in F4 instead. And I think I'm still okay with putting my starting presence into F4, because I can probably do an eruption there and just wipe everything out from that land, which is a nice way to get rid of that early city. So yeah, let's see. So I got my initial explorer into mountains, and I think I'm ready to go. So I'm going to do very similar growth pattern to last game. I'm going to do growth 2 at first, from top and bottom, and stack up here into F4. And I think I want to do a Rain of Ash and get everything pushed out of F6 in the slow phase with my 2 energy that I gain from growth, or from presence rather. So yeah, I think that'll be a good way to get this first turn down. So let's go into the fast phase, not using any fast powers, so I go right away into my next turn, or into the invader phase rather. Flip an event just to keep my timing, but I'm not actually going to resolve it. And then I'm going to go into the invader phase. So they're going to build in mountains. So we do get a build here in F4, which is going to be a little bit scary, but fortunately Volcano can do some good damage in the fast phase. And then I've got a town over in F6. That's that. And then we come over to the Explorer. They're going to explore into wetlands, which probably okay. F7 is a good candidate to just let go and not worry about it, so I can hopefully grow and outscale the invaders a little bit. Now I'm going to go with slow phase, so I'm going to use Rain of Ash. Thanks to my 3 stack in F4, I do have an extra range, so I have range 2 with this ability. So I'm going to target F6. I get 2 fear because invaders are present. I think I forgot that last game actually. And then I'm going to push these 2 to Han, try to stack up into F5 to avoid the Sweden escalation if that comes up into jungles. And I'll push these guys just into F8 and worry about them later. Alright, so that was my slow power. I'm going to discard cards and go back to growth. So growth here, growing into growth 3 right away, gaining a minor power. See if I get something, and actually I think the earth is more important than the fire here, because that's going to let me add back destroyed presence if I have to use this card. I did get Call the Guard, very good power. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Gift of Constancy, kind of broken here in true solo. I'm not going to do Call to Isolation or Spur on with Words of Fire, so I'm between Call the Guard and Gift of Constancy, both excellent powers, probably top tier minor powers, so not sure which one that I want to do. Let's see. After Explore, if F3, if Wetlands comes up, they're going to get the Sweden escalation triggered in F3, but there's not really much that I can do about that, so that's fine. So, while Call the Guard is very good, I think Gift of Constancy is going to be better because it's going to let me grow. I'm going to be able to take a major earlier and get that 2 energy to pay for it. So let's go with called it Gift of Constancy. Yeah, I think that's the right call. All right, I get 2 energy. Get to add a presence, which I'm going from bottom. Get 2 energy from growth. And I have 2 card plays this turn and 4 energy. I think I need to do Pyroclastic Bombardment, which is 3 of my energy. And I'll probably go with Gift of Constancy so I can get that back. And I'll save Lava Flows and Exaltation of Molten Stone. So, yeah, I think that's fine. Pyroclastic Bombardment. Yeah, this should work okay. Okay. So I go straight into fast powers here. I'm going to use Pyroclastic Bombardment here on F4. So it's 1 damage to each town and city. Plus an additional damage, which I'll do to that city. Plus 1 more damage, which I'll do to this. Well, I'll do it to the city. So that's 2 fear, and gets me a fear card. Then I'm going to do an eruption. I think just an eruption of 2, I think, is fine. I can just destroy that Dahan, and that'll keep it from coming up in the escalation. I think that might be better. Just so Sweden doesn't convert them, I'll just destroy them. And that's probably the way to go. So let's do a 2-cost eruption. To do 2 damage here into F3, destroys the Dahan and the Explorer. And then I also do 2 damage into this land, which becomes 3 thanks to the Badlands. So I'll wipe that out. It would have wiped it out anyway, since there was only 2 health away from invaders there. So that cleans that up. Alright, so that is my fast phase. Now I go into the invader phase. We've got an event. And my event is Lesser Spirits Imperiled. The invaders spread... Oh, also Gift of Constancy, excuse me. So I gain 2 energy from that. And I can reclaim 1 card at the end of my turn. So pretty good. And might be useful here. So Lesser Spirits Imperiled. The invaders spread is threatening many of the island's smaller spirits. I can tend to my own strength. Gain 1 energy, discard 1 minor power. For each plant that it has, remove 1 blight from the blight card, returning it to the box. For each with animal, destroy 1 Dahan in a land with blight. That wouldn't be great, because that puts me in danger of the Sweden escalation if jungle comes up, so I don't love that. Or I can forge a web of mutual support. It's 4 energy per player, aided by plant, which I don't think that I can pay for. So I have to tend to my own strength. So, yeah, not ideal. Let's see what happens with this. I'm going to gain 1 energy. And discard 1 minor power. Fortunately, it does not have... does not have animals, so I don't have to destroy a Dahan. It also doesn't have plant, so don't have to do anything with that. Got a little lucky there with that draw. Alright, quick the farm lands. On each board, push 1 beast into a land with towns, or without towns or cities. 1 fear if invaders are present there, so I have to do this. I'm going to push that guy here. No fear. And then return to Old Pillars, gather 1 or 2 Dahan into a land with Dahan setup symbols. Yeah, I have to do this as well, but I can do 2, so I'm just going to stack up all of my Dahan into F5, and now I'm very safe from the Sweden escalation. Don't have to worry about that. Okay, so that event's good. Let's go into Fear card. So 1 Fear card. Terra level 1. Each player may push 1 Dahan from a lane with invaders or gather 1 Dahan into a lane with invaders. I'm not going to do that. So, Dahan and Hearten are already in enough. They've gathered together into the central lands. Let's ravage in mountains. Mountains are empty. Build in wetlands. Only 1 build. And then explore mountains. So I didn't have to worry about the Sweden escalation, but it's good to kind of prepare for it, because that's really the most dangerous thing about Sweden. Getting those extra towns out is pretty scary. Okay, so that's that. Next I go into the slow fire phase. I've got Powered by the Furnace of the Earth with my 3 earth, so I'm going to add 1 of my destroyed presents back on. I don't have 3 fire, so I don't have anything else. Now I'm going to discard cards. I can recover one of these cards. I think I want to recover Pyroclastic Bombardment, so that I'll be able to use that and maybe wipe out F8, at least a lot from F8, if I can do some lava flows into there. So yeah, so I'll reclaim Pyroclastic Bombardment, discard Gift of Constancy, and then go back to growth. So for my growth, I'm sticking with growth 3. I've got a decent chunk of energy thanks to the event and from Gift of Constancy. So I think I'm going to go with a major, early major. And let's see if I've got a good one. So from Avengers of the Dead, not a very good card, so I'm just going to put that aside and not even worry about it. I've got Cast Down into the Briny Deep. Probably not a great choice here in this particular game. So my choices are between Ravaged Undergrowth slithers back to life and the Wounded Wild turns on its assailants. Neither's fantastic. I don't mind Wounded Wilds here, because F8 is a pretty good target for that. It doesn't have Earth, but I think that's okay. 1 fear, 3 damage. Push that Wilds. Ravaged Undergrowth slithers back to life is interesting as well, because that's a good way to replace that blight that's in F8. So I can just kind of clean up the blight that's already on the board. Yeah, that's an interesting choice as well. I like both of these. Problem with Ravaged Undergrowth is that it doesn't have any of my elements. But if I'm just getting fire, all of my cards have fire and earth, so I'm not sure that that really matters. Let's see. Yeah, let's go with Ravaged Undergrowth slithers back to life. I like being able to remove blight. It makes board look a little bit better. It's slightly cheaper as well, at 3 energy. I'm just going to forget Gift of Constancy from discard. Fantastic card, but I don't know that I'm going to get to play it again this game, so may as well get rid of it. And get to add a presence, which is going into F4. And I get 2 more energy. So I'm pretty flush with energy here. I can do a lot of damage to the invaders. I'll probably, let's see, if I let F7 Ravage, they are going to get an extra town, which I don't love. But the extra town does go into F4, which is okay. So do I want to let that Ravage so that I can just nuke them even more? Not sure that that's worth it, so I might do something. I don't know. I can probably let it go. I'm gonna let it go because they'll out of town here, and then when they build, they'll out of city here, so they'll have a pretty big stack into F4. But if I do an eruption next turn, I'll wipe out pretty much everything there. So I'm not super concerned about that. So I think I'm okay with just letting them Ravage F7. And then it gives me another target for Ravaged Undergrowth, so there's back to life. Can clean that up pretty easily. So yeah, I think that's the way to go, actually. So I'll probably save Pyroclastic Bombardment so I can combo that with a Volcanic Eruption into F8 next turn. So I'm going to do Exaltation of Molten Stone, Lava Flows, and Ravaged Undergrowth slithers back to life, and save Pyroclastic Bombardment. So, a little bit expensive, but I am saving some energy, which will be good, because I'll be able to buy a power card this turn. Next turn I'll have 3 cards, so I can still do Growth 3 and push off my Reclaim. So I think this will be okay. Alright. So let's get into fast powers. I've got Exaltation of Molten Stone. Of course, gives me energy. So I get 3 energy for the 3 fire that I have. I'm not going to do an eruption this turn. I'm saving it until next turn. I think that's the right call. So yeah, that's that. So let's go to the invader phase. We'll get an event first. I'm in Terra level 1, so distant exploration. Invaders explore +1 distance. That power really rarely has an effect, so not a big deal. Grim Toll. On each board, choose a land with disease. In that land, do 2 damage to invaders. Ooh, that's pretty good with lava flows, actually. And 2 damage to Dahan. That changes up my plans with lava flows. So I can kill that city, and I'm going to be very close to winning this game, probably in the fast phase next turn. I'm going to try it. We'll see. Fierce Main. 1 fear per land with invaders where Dahan outnumber towns and cities. So I got 1 fear for that. Alright, we've got Ravage and Wetlands, so they will successfully ravage here in F7, which is going to add a town into F4, thanks to Mining Rush, the level 5 ability for Sweden. They're going to build in mountains. And then explore into jungle. And because I have way more in Dahan than invaders here, they're not going to hit the Sweden escalation, which is fantastic. Okay, so I'm in pretty good shape. So let's go into the slow powers. I'm going to do Powered by the Furnace of the Earth to add my destroyed presence back in. I'm going to pay 2 for a, I think, minor power. Yeah, I'm going to do a minor. Okay. So drift down into slumber. I don't have to worry about the defense, so that's fine. Drought is interesting over there in F8. But I can destroy stuff easier without adding blight, so I think that's fine. Drift down into slumber could potentially be useful actually for the defense in a couple turns. So maybe that's the one that I take. Even though I don't necessarily need it next turn. Yeah, let's go with that. It's free, so it's fine. Okay. So that was Powered by the Furnace of the Earth. Now I've got Lava Flows. Normally I would do the add one Badlands and add 1 Wilds, but in this case, since the city got damaged by the event, I'm going to do 1 damage to the city and just take it down. I'm 2 fear cards away from Terra level 2, which is probably going to be my win condition in this game. Then I've got Ravaged Undergrowth slithers back to life. I'm going to use that over in F7. So I replace one of these blight with a Wilds. 1 fear, 3 damage. We're just going to wipe that land clean. And then push this Wilds. And I'll push it, I guess, over here. Okay. So I think those are all my slow powers. I'm going to discard cards and go back to growth. Okay, growth. Growth 3 again. And I could probably get a major. I'm going to have 8 energy this turn. I do need 3 for Pyroclastic Bombardment, which is quite a bit. But my other card's free, so if I get a major that's 5 or less, I'll be able to play that this turn. And I think it's worth it. I think being able to affect more things is always good. So let's go for a major. And I'm not really in any rush to get like a fast power that's going to clear stuff out. I'm in pretty good board shape right now, so I don't have to worry about it. So interesting ones. I've got Volcanic Eruption, which I could afford, but it would cost everything, so I'm probably not going to do that one. Unearth a Beast of Wrathful Stone is very interesting. Yeah. I don't know. Do I have a moon card? I do have a moon card. I probably can't hit the threshold on that, but could potentially wipe out a land. I don't know that I need all that damage, though. So maybe I'll just grab Infinite Vitality. If I do that, I'm only going to have 2 fire, which I don't love. So I might need a card with fire, which would be Unearth the Beast of Wrathful Stone. 3 fear, 12 damage. Yeah, I mean, that's a cool card. This one's too expensive, so I'm not going to do Exaltation of the Incandescent Sky. Infinite Vitality is good, and I can threshold it pretty easily. I can actually threshold it this turn. Remove some blight. Be good next turn too. But I really want to do a level 2 eruption, and I'm not going to have the fire to do that this turn if I take Infinite Vitality instead of Unearth the Beast of Wrathful Stone. So let's take Unearth the Beast of Wrathful Stone. It's a fun card anyway. I will forget, I think, Rain of Ash. Alright, so I get 2 more energy. Did I add my... No, I didn't. I'm going to add from top as well. So I've got a 6 stack here. And I'll play my 3 cards. Okay. Yeah, because I'm 1, 2, 3. I'm on turn 5, so I'm pretty sure that's right. Okay, so I've got a lot of earth. I've got 5 earth, but only 3 fire. Okay, that should be fine. Let's go into my fast powers, and this is going to wipe a lot of the board pretty clean. So I think I'll just do Drift Down into Slumber up here into F6. It's possible that a Fear card is going to get me some defense there. I could also Pyroclastic Bombardment it, so just to kill the town. I don't know. I might just rely on Fear cards to deal with that, because I can kill a lot of towns otherwise. So let's do an Explosive Eruption. If I do 5, I can completely wipe out F4. And I can almost wipe out F8. Alright, well, let me do my Beast of Wrathful Stone first. I'm just going to put it on a marker so that I know it's the beast. Oh, actually, I'll have to target a land for this. So let's do it... let's do it up here, because I know that that's going to happen soon. Whereas if I put it in F8, it's possible that sands are going to come up next, and then I won't be able to get that. That would be cool. I'd be lucky. Actually, there's what, a 1 in 3 chance that sands comes up on the draw. Do I want to risk that? Maybe. Might be worth it. 12 damage. I really don't have to worry about F8 right now, so yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to do my Beast of Wrathful Stone here in F8, and if sands doesn't get drawn, then I'm going to just wipe that land clean. Any turn. And I don't know if that means that there are no Ravage Bilge actions, like showing. I think that's what it means. Not taken, but showing. So, yeah, that's what I'm going with. Drift out into Slumber, so I have to choose where to do Pyroclastic Bombardment and my Explosive Eruption. So I could just do Pyroclastic Bombardment up into F6, do my Eruption into F5, and then not have to worry about much. I'll have the game pretty much in hand, so let's do that. So Pyroclastic Bombardment is going into F6. It just kills this town. For 1 fear. Not a very energy efficient use of that, but it is what it is. Then I'm going to do an Explosive Eruption. And I'll kill a bunch of Tahan with this, but it's totally worth it. So I'm going to do an Eruption of 5. To kill these two. 1 fear. I get 4 fear from my 2nd level Explosive Eruptions, and that's going to be another fear card. Terror level 2. It does kill 2 of those Tahan as well, but that's totally fine. Then I do 5 damage plus 1, 6 damage into this land, which wipes it out. For 3 more fear. And now I'm pretty good. So if I don't draw Sands with my Stage 2 Invader card, I win this game in this phase. That's basically how it works. Thanks to my Beast of Wrathful Stone. All right, so let's go into the events. So we got an event. Provincial Seat. I'm still healthy, so choose a land with cities. Build there. No cities anymore. Beast Chase off Homesteaders. Push up to 2 explorers or 1 town from a land with beasts. Nothing there. And then Rally the Defense of Distant Kin. On each board, gather 1 Dahan into a land with Dahan. In that land, defend 1 per Dahan. I'm not going to do that. So, a very uneventful event card. Alright, for 3 Terra level 2 fear cards. Each player replaces 1 explorer or Dahan. 1 explorer or town with 1 Dahan in a land with 2 or more Dahan. Doesn't happen. Angry mobs. In each land with 2 or more explorers, destroy 1 town. Okay, I don't have 2 or more explorers. So, more useless fear cards. Each player removes 2 explorers or 1 town from a land with Dahan. From Tall Tales of Savagery. Again, nothing happens. So I'm dealing with these lands too well. My fear cards are not very helpful, but that is okay. So Ravage into Mountains. That one's defended 1, so they actually do 0 damage. Build in Jungles. And Explore Sands. So that 33% chance came up. And unfortunately, I don't win the game instantly. But I might be able to just win next turn on the reclaim. Okay. So I have no escalations, so that's that. And I'm pretty sure that's how Unearth a Beast works. So the Invader phase is done. There are Ravage build actions in that land, so it doesn't happen. So, oh well. No slow powers aside from Powered by the Furnace of the Earth, so I'm going to get 1 of my presents back. Keep that marker there. Discard cards. And go back to Growth. And I'm going to have to reclaim. It's a pretty light turn here. So I'll have to see if I can potentially get some good use out of cards that I draw. Could gain another major. I have 5 energy. I probably can replace Unearth a Beast. So let's go with a major. Why not? I got Pent Up Calamity. That's a fantastic card. And Insatiable Hunger of the Swarm. Will that win me the game? It might. It might. That might be a game-winning play. So let's count my damage here. I just need to kill these 3 towns. I would add a Blight here, which would cascade, but that's totally fine. Add 2 beasts, gather 2 beasts, so there'd be 3 beasts there. Each beast does 1 fear and 2 damage to invaders. That's all I need. So let's get Insatiable Hunger of the Swarm. I can forget Unearth the Beast of Wrathful Stone. I've got 5 energy, which is just enough for Insatiable Hunger of the Swarm, and I guess Exaltation of Molten Stone. I'll pay for those. Exaltation gives me 2 energy back, but doesn't even really matter, because with Insatiable Hunger of the Swarm, I'm going to target F8. It's going to Blight and Cascade into F7. It's going to add 2 beasts, gather up to 2 beasts, and then each beast does 1 fear and 2 damage. So 3 beasts, each doing 2 damage. It's enough to kill those last 3 towns. Destroy 1 beast. And now everything should be kosher. There are no towns left on the board, and I'm in Terra level 2, which means that I win. So that was a pretty quick one, I think. I think that was turn 4, turn 5, something like that. Fast phase, so not bad at all. So yeah, you can see the power of Volcano. I thought that this would be a good matchup, though. Sweden doesn't have a lot of staying power if you can just kind of nuke them down, and that's one thing that Volcano is good at. So this did seem to be a pretty favorable matchup, but it's nice to get my first level 6 win with this spirit. And I'm looking forward to exploring them into some more difficult matchups and seeing how that goes. I also do plan to do some duos. It's not always going to be true solo. Volcano does have pretty good support with Exaltation of Molten Stone, and does do well with other spirits helping out, because if they can stack up into a land, you can nuke stuff down pretty well. So if you have any suggestions for any duos for me to try out with Volcano, definitely post them in the comments below, and I'll check them out. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.